As it goes.
Looks good, dude. How's it going? Look at that. Woo-wee. 45 Newton meters at 2,500 RPM torque. 670 cc. Is it 24 horsepower? Is it? Something like that. Could you imagine if we had to carry that thing right now?
Dude, I should have wrote it down.
Alrighty. Build officially finally starts. Well, I mean, it already officially started, but we get to actually do some stuff. Where do we start, buddy?
Well, as always, we start with the rear end.
Freshy.
Right?
Freshy.
Oh, you always want the rear end to be fresh, bro.
Got everything painted. You guys saw me painting the rear end. We finally got the correct drum on there and got the brakes semi-adjusted. Those are probably going to have to get adjusted more. We have coilovers. Look how small these things are compared to my hand. I mean, yeah, I got a big hand, but some small coilovers, dude. New front leaf springs, new hubs, new spindles, bushings, tie rods, brake adjuster, rear leaf springs, full swap kit, alternator, clutch, lift kit, stereo system, brake cables, steering wheel hub adapter, rocker switches, fuel filter, tack, LED light bar, roof rack, and the big bad Mamma Jamma Predator 670cc. Thanks to the Vicks for hooking it up on a good price on that one. And then the best part is this, so the exhaust with this billet piece and that bracket and then that cross member bracket up there. Hold it up, buddy. Motor mount bracket.
I don't know terminology.
I know.
This in the instructions, I've read the instructions, is the motor cradle.
Motor cradle. Okay, that works. That works. Cam member. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now it's clicking.
There we go. So super rad company named Vegas Carts makes these. It's a full swap kit. Comes with the other rear brackets over there. Like I said, it comes with exhaust and then the motor mount itself. Full instructions. It's just super easy. Yeah, Carlton and I could make something. However, when you can buy it already done, ready to roll, and you're trying to hurry up on a project, it makes it very nice that company makes that.
Needs to get to the golf course.
This is also a harness for the motor, and it's a key on switch harness. So have a couple keys there. Toss that baby in the dash, hopefully. Light bar, got a light bar for the top. Some new plastic pieces, body pieces. Rear bumper, and then the rockers. All right, so obviously you guys aren't gonna see us throw all this together in this video. What you are gonna see us do is we're doing the suspension. Coilovers, rear diff, front leaf springs. So you guys are only seeing suspension in this video. And we are gonna rock it out pretty quick. What do they need to do?
Like, comment, and subscribe. Not to work on it today because it just didn't feel right. Not the right moon. So tomorrow it's supposed to be a better moon phase. So
good 4 hours and we got some leaf springs on her. Fresh new bolts, not fresh new bolts. One thing I wanted to do but I forgot to plan out is all new hardware. And we got to the point where we needed to install stuff and we didn't have all new hardware. Yeah, it just wasn't working out. We decided to just stop where we were and restart tomorrow. I was just looking at those. Just look like they're on there nice and well.
Careful.
That one looks really good.
Steady.
Right on the corner.
Steady.
Anyways, we wanted to throw it all together and I wanted new bolts and we didn't have new bolts. So going tomorrow to stop at McDaniel's and get all new bolts. Tomorrow's a new day, right, buddy?
It's true. Tomorrow is a new day. It's 7 o'clock.
All right, it's a couple days later. Life happens, you get busy. And you can't come out for a few days, right? Come out of the shop.
Yep.
No, you guys know we stopped last time because of bolt issues. Well, I got a bunch of bolts. Boom, 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 boom. Everything we need. So now, let's get this rear suspension on. So as I mentioned before, this is a 5-inch lift kit. You got your lift block here, you got your U-bolts on each side, and then your lower shock mount plate. So there's a hole right there, fits right in the leaf spring. There's also a hole in the bottom of the leaf spring. Shock lift blocks fits in, so you can actually seat in there. There's a little nub. And then once you get it, you know, get it snug, but keep it to where you can rotate the diff, and then we're gonna rotate the diff and square up this nub right here with the hole on the top there. And there's no way to get that perfect. You're just gonna have to eyeball it. Next will be the coilovers. Boom, boom, and then we're done. All right, so that was a little bit of a nightmare. The reason being is these coilover shocks, I am not 100% sure if they're meant for lifted carts. Yeah, they're probably meant for stock. So hopefully we don't run into an issue with those down the road, because we actually had to lift everything up to get to it, loosen up these and lift it up to get to it. So it's still square underneath. That's not a big deal. But hey, rear suspension is done.
Just like that.
Yep. Axle nuts are not on. Washers and nuts are not on because we need to adjust the brakes. So that's going to be something, once I get everything on there, going to do that as well. But time to move on to the front. All right, front leaf springs, pretty self-explanatory. Same 3 bolts. I just replaced them, tossed under there with the plate. Now, when these come to you, they're not going to be perfect. The holes on the back are not going to be lined up. This is actually not a steel centering piece. It's actually plastic. So all you need to do is just tap the leaf spring back to line up the back holes. Next up's the front axle is what they call it. Just going to go right under there. Same thing, 3 bolts, 3 bolts. You're gonna actually 180. Oh wait, I was just looking at like coil over here to here.
Yeah, what about it?
Looks like a long ways, right?
Yeah.
You scared?
A little.
Okay, front cross members on, self-explanatory on the tie rods. Obviously toss them in the 2 holes, and the new adapter is actually going to go onto the spindle itself. It bolts on and it just extends out and up, so then you just toss the tie rod right on there. Carlton and I are a little worried about the coilover situation. It's pretty long distance, and if you match up the coilover compared to the stock shock, you can see the height distance. Oh, sorry, it's kind of hard to hold it one hand, but that's the height distance. So that's a little concerning, because the whole point of doing the lift kit is to make the motor fit. We don't want to counteract each of those things. So what we're gonna do is get the rest of the front end thrown together, then kind of see the distance, and that should tell us, you know, if they're gonna work or not. Like I said before, I ordered these knowing that they technically aren't supposed to work for lifted carts, but maybe I will do a little bit of research.
They had red springs.
Yeah, the other ones that I got are longer, but they're chrome springs, and I can't put that on there because it's just ugly. Okay, I got my side on, and just something to note when you're doing this, you put your top spacer washer on first, then you slide everything in, and then the kingpin actually has to go in through the top. And it's made to hold everything in place. Maybe. Yeah, get her slid in. It's kind of hard because you got to get the bottom lined up too. But that's it there. There it is. Just like that. Now we got the adapter spacers for the tie rods. These suckers go on there just like that. Obviously you need to pull them apart because they're not the exact width for these Chinese spindles. But yeah, those go on there like that, and then tie rod connects, boom, just like that. So these little extenders are pretty self-explanatory. They obviously are from China, so they don't line up exactly. You got to hammer them on there. Get the back holes lined up with each other, and then suck it down. And then hopefully, not quite. So basically you just toss a bolt in there so it can never come up, and then one in there when it's tight. Little trimming, just like that. Can you pull it?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. That's even better than not gonna put steering wheel in. So obviously the steering column wasn't straight. You can go more. We're gonna need to anyways.
Or it's kind of whack.
Oh, did you keep going? Yeah, you're good. Probably about there. And then obviously we're gonna have to set toe, adjust them way further out. We're gonna have to find center on the rack and whatnot still. Just get it eyeballed. I mean, that's gonna be the very last thing to do anyways. 8 to out. All right, next up is put the hubs on. All right, so as you saw on the time lapse, I was packing the bearings. Got all 4 of those packed. The races are already in there. Tapered side down, just like that. Get it pushed in there nice and flat. And then on this side, this back side, there's a seal. And your tapered side or concave side is gonna go face in. That's to go around your bearing and catch any excess grease. So normally it's not this easy on like a car hub. You shouldn't be able to just, well, sometimes you can push the seal in like that, but get the seal in there nice and flush. Take your other bearing for the other side. And then same thing, tapered side down, all the way in there. And that's it for this. There's no seal on this side because you have your axle cap. Grease up your shaft. Nice and good. And oh, money. Just like that. Take your axle nut.
It's just a different thread page.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
That's it. Get it tossed all the way on there and then throw your cotter pin through. Alrighty, there it is. So we were messing around with the hubs, getting them all tightened up because they're still not 100% tight. The old axle only had 1 washer on top. So we did the same thing here and I actually broke one over there. So what we're gonna do tomorrow, it's getting late, so we're just gonna call it a night, is we're gonna put a couple washers, so 2 washers on the bottom side. It's because you can tell there's still a gap there even with 1 washer. So toss a couple washers in there and call that good. Got the calcium nuts all tight on the tie rods. Got the cotter pins in. Those are all good. Hubs are in, so that's all good. It's starting to look pretty good. Got some work done tonight.
It's got some suspension.
Yeah, suspension. We are still undecided on the coilovers. We will try to get that figured out.
I don't think we're gonna be able to put this.
No, I don't think we're gonna fit those either. Might just have to buy some stock shocks. It'd be lame.
You'd rather put stock shocks in instead of
Chrome, 100%. We shall continue hopefully tomorrow. I'm working overtime this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, so don't have tons of time, but I'd like to continue. We should have time tomorrow. Yeah, we'll have time. Yeah, you got time.
It's all dependent on you having time.
Maybe you can paint something for me tomorrow while I'm working. All right, coilover dilemma update. As you guys saw us put these on and struggle with them, they were just way too short. They were not gonna work. Those got returned today, and we went back to old trusties that I had already. So these are them. And as you can see, the coils are off of them. So here's the issue. I didn't want to use these because they're chrome and it does not match anything. So, but the difference is that they're longer and they actually fit. They're the correct length that we need. Return the other set. Gonna buy 2 more of those and we're just gonna paint the springs. Hopefully it doesn't flake off, but it's something that I can tear apart pretty easily and maybe powder coat down the road. Also need to paint up this throttle pedal box. And then I believe we're gonna get the brake cables in and the cradle, the cam member, whatever you wanna call it. That's on the agenda. Alrighty, getting the coils painted. We are going red. Going to paint the bolts for the throttle box, and then the throttle box is drying right now with the primer. Carlton's over here just doing something that we have to do twice, right buddy? So I didn't have the washers because I forgot to get them, so thankfully Carlton went and snagged those today. He's just getting the new washers thrown on there, and then these Chinese metric lock nuts that we had on here were not good, so he got me a couple new lock nuts, put those on there. Rear shocks staying like this for now. So that way it's rolling, good to go. These are the OEM ones, they fit perfect. And the coilovers are gonna go on the front. Reason why we're doing that is because we don't have another set. So for now, we're gonna leave it like that. That way it's still rolling, you know, suspension will be done. When we get the other set in, quick and easy, 2 bolts on each side, pop them off, toss the new ones on. Yes, that's another thing that we need to address is the washers, which I told you guys last night that that we needed to get washers from there, which Carlton got right there. So we are gonna address that issue too. I am stoked on the coilovers. They turned out good. Good idea using those, buddy. Just paint them. Who cares? You can't even tell.
But now you feel good because it looks cool.
Because, yeah, I do feel a lot better. So those worked out perfect. I'm going to be buying the same ones. We're going to put them on the rear. And we're going to be painting the springs. Same exact thing. Got the spindles all tightened up. Got all the washers on everything. Thank you again, buddy. All the bolts are all brand new. All the nylon nuts are all brand new. Cotter pins, hubs, spindles. Brake pedal is connected. So that guy is working. Obviously well, yeah, you can see it. I'm saying 5 things at once, but throttle releases it, throttle pedals in, throttle cables in, brake cables are in. All the suspension is done, minus the rear coilovers, but you guys know that those are on order, so. That's it for this video. We were gonna throw in the K-member, the cradle, but you guys are gonna have to wait for the next one for that. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the golf cart build, and stay tuned for what's next.